guys, and welcome to another VegInspired video. We did it, 30 videos in 30 days, and I want to bring you this question and answer video as a thank you for sticking with us and hanging out and submitting your questions. We are really excited to be able to be here and answer these questions for you. If you feel that your question wasn't answered, please leave it again in the comments below. We did select some of the questions for future videos, so you can hang out, hit subscribe, and see if your question's answered then, or you can leave it again below and we'll try and answer it in the next Q&A. These are all questions that came from you and your responses to our 30 videos in 30 days that we've done over the last 30 days. I'm gonna start with a question that appeared a few times. So the first question that I'm gonna answer is, why does the VegInspired chef not come in front of the camera? Cameraman, why?
I love to be behind the camera, and I love to cook, and Kathy loves to be in front of the camera, so it just works out.
So next question, what inspired you to go vegan? This is the question that the VegInspired chef should be answering.
What inspired me to go vegan?
Yeah.
I was reading two different articles in the same magazine, two different issues that contradicted each other on health and nutrition. So I started to question who I was listening to. Really, who are these people? Where are they getting their information? Like I can dig for information just as they dig for information. These are just journalists who do research. They find data and reach their own opinions. So what I'm reading are only opinions. It's not necessarily fact. So I started digging in to my own research. I read about all the plant-based doctors and the benefits of plant-based eating, and it just grew from there.
So then we're researching all this plant-based eating. We're watching videos and YouTube from vegan people and fully raw people and nutritionfacts.org, and we're gathering all this information, and then he finds Dr. McDougall with the starch solution, and we say, okay, so we know it's healthier to eat plants. We'll just eat more plants. We'll keep eating what we're eating, but we'll just change some things out and eat more plants. Well, as that evolved and we ate more plants, we found out we really felt great and we loved it. And so eating more plants went up and eating animal products went down. And then as we ate less animal products, we allowed ourselves to do a little bit more research on the animal product industry and just felt like making the decision to be vegan was the best choice for us. I'll tell you, if you watched the VegInspired speech at the Olean area vegan potluck, which I'll link up there for your reference, I go through the full story and into a lot more detail on my personal experience. But to leave you with the snippet of a visualization, the turning point for me on going fully vegan was I went to a friend's house and their family raised cows to be slaughtered, and they had just had a baby cow that was born. And we went out and we all oohed and ahed over how cute the little baby cow was, and that's when it clicked. That's when I realized I wasn't eating those babies anymore. And at that point, I've been fully vegan ever since. Next question. What or how did VegInspired come about? So during that whole process of researching plant-based foods and plant-based recipes and eating more plants, I created a Pinterest board called VegInspired. It was VegInspired. All of the plant-based recipes that I found, potato cheeses and vegan stir fries and all those crazy, substitutes, I put in that little board. So when we became vegan, we said, we should really share our journey with other people and really, give back just like those people who mentored us gave to us. So VegInspired was born really to share our plant-based recipes and our vegan recipes and lifestyle tips. It started as a website, www.veginspired.com, and has grown into multiple social media platforms as well as this YouTube channel that you're watching now. So we thank you for watching. Next question. Did you and your husband go vegan at the same time? So as you heard a little bit ago, the VegInspired chef was really the big push behind eating more plants. And actually he went fully vegan about 2 months before I did, before that little baby cow turning point. What is your biggest day-to-day challenge eating vegan? And if you found a solution, can you please share? The biggest challenge that I've found over the course of the last 4 years has really been dealing with other people. You know, for us eating vegan, it's not really a challenge because you create a new mindset. You have a new normal. Your habits change. You know, you're making tacos out of beans and out of tofu or tempeh or potatoes or whatever you find is the filling that works for you. You're making buffalo cauliflower instead of chicken wings. Like, you just learn and you just do things differently. So to me, eating vegan wasn't necessarily the challenge. It was more the social part of it, which leads me to another question. How do you handle that social pressure? So for us, it's been fairly easy. We do like to eat out a lot, which you probably have noticed in some of our videos, but we prepare. You know, my parents aren't vegan, so when we go to their house or we go to family parties with people who aren't vegan, we bring really delicious dishes to pass, like our rainbow quinoa salad. I'll put that up there. And, or our deviled potatoes. I'll also link that up there. So, you know, we really try to make it easy, and we really try to make it less pressure on the hostess or the host of these parties that we might go to. And we just bring something to pass and something to share with everybody. To be honest, the key to all of that is remembering where you were when you were them. Remember that feeling when somebody said to you, oh, I think we should go vegan. And you're like, what? Why would we do that? Because that was what I was saying. To the VegInspired chef, I was like, what? I'm not giving up burgers and cheese. You're nuts. We'll just eat more plants. So remember that, because what you're doing when you're telling someone you're vegan is you're pulling at their heartstrings. You're tugging a little bit on their normal, and they're questioning the decisions that they make. And you know, it's often that people who, you know, are around someone that's vegan, they start to question their own dietary choices and their own life choices, and they get defensive. And it makes sense if you think about it. Like, you're basically rocking their world and saying we shouldn't eat animals, we shouldn't wear animals, we shouldn't go to zoos, we shouldn't test on animals. Like, all of these things that were their normal, you're rocking their world. So that kind of answered a few questions, but really that was meant to really focus on like the social pressure and how to just take a deep breath and remember that by being vegan, you're challenging other people's beliefs within themselves. Next question. What's more important to you when making food choices? Health, compassion, or both? So the VegInspired tagline is eat more plants. We know that a plant-based diet is the healthiest option. For us, we are not on a prescriptive plant-based diet. We are not combating diseases that we were diagnosed with. So we pick 100% vegan. That's a priority. We don't eat honey. We are 100% vegan. So it is for compassion first. But because we know the health benefits of plant-based eating, most of our dietary choices are whole plant foods. We have significantly reduced the oil that we cook with. In fact, we rarely add it to any of our recipes. We do eat out. We indulge in vegan products when we want to. We splurge when it's going to make it worth it, in our opinion. So we are first, it's all about compassion, but very, very closely it's all about health, because to us, eating a whole food plant-based diet is the best dietary choices for optimum health, and we know that. That's why we always say, eat more plants. Next question. What is a kitchen item you couldn't live without? I don't think we could live without our Vitamix and our good knife and cutting board. Yeah. Those are probably the top two items. The Vitamix is a game changer, and another question down here is, what kitchen item did you buy that was worth the money spent for food prep? And for me, It's both the Vitamix and the chef's knife and the cutting board. I mean, those 3 items are non-negotiable in a vegan kitchen. I mean, the amount of food prep that we do with the vegetables and the fruit and the produce and then the smoothies and the sauces and the dressings, I mean, all of those things are just so important to our current lifestyle. So for us, it would be the Vitamix and then our chef's knife and our cutting board.
Scoot, what's your role? Huh? Are you the mascot?
Next question. What is your favorite trick to prolong food storage? Okay. So up until about 6 months ago, I would have told you I didn't know because I honestly didn't know. But these eco bags, which I'll link below, are a game changer. Don't look at the green part of the radish because that didn't really prolong. But these radishes are 2 grocery hauls ago and they're like in perfect shape. We do keep them in the vegetable side of our refrigerator, but these bags are breathable, so it allows the produce to breathe and still keeps them cool and crisp. And then if you haven't heard the story about our herbs, this whole process is a game changer. So we buy fresh herbs either from the grocery store currently or from farmers markets when they start up again. We wash the herb, we trim the ends, and we put them in a mason jar with water. And then we use these breathable bags, which I'll link below, the Eco-Wise bags, the Earthwise bags, which I'll link below. And they keep these herbs sometimes up to a month. Now, normally we don't let our herbs go that long, but just depending on the recipes we're making, sometimes that happens. So this is fresh cilantro we bought the other day, and it's looking great. It's all washed and ready to go. So that's our tip for prolonging food storage in the refrigerator. Next question. Where do you like to shop and why? So we like to shop at Whole Foods. We find that their organic produce is in abundance and it's always really good and lasts for a long time. So we really enjoy that and appreciate those options. We also like to buy produce at local farmers markets, and we have in the past subscribed to CSA's, Community Supported Agriculture, where we get a box every week. So we really, we go for local produce or we get it at Whole Foods. We try to buy what's in season, and Whole Foods usually has some great deals on the seasonal produce. The other component that we like about Whole Foods is their 365 brand is non-GMO, and often the 365 organic brand is less expensive than if I were to go and buy it at a standard grocery store. So that's why we shop at Whole Foods. We've tried shopping at other grocery stores and we just really find ourselves enjoying going back to Whole Foods. Next question. What was your biggest struggle going plant-based? So for me, the biggest struggle going plant-based was my mindset. We started going plant-based really following the research of Dr. McDougall, who's the author of The Starch Solution, and overcoming the thought of eating carbs was huge for me because I'd been told my whole life that carbs were bad, and here was a doctor saying, no, most of your plate should be whole carbohydrates. And that was so unique to me, and that was really the hardest part. The other piece was honestly overcoming the whole protein myth, and fortunately I was able to find the book Proteinaholic by Dr. Garth Davis, and that really helped to shift my mindset. So if you're like me and you had listened to a lot of nutrition or had been through a lot of yo-yo dieting and fad dieting where you're counting points and counting calories and omitting an entire food group because that's not what you're supposed to eat, I suggest you check out The Starch Solution and Proteinaholic more for the mindset change, not necessarily to adhere to their diets specifically, but more along the, the nutrient information and the support of eating whole plant-based foods like whole grain carbohydrates and getting your protein from plant-based foods. So that was the biggest struggle for me. The next question, which I'm gonna read right from here. The most common thought in plant-based health movement at this time is oil-free, salt-free, and sugar-free for best health, commonly referred to as SOS-free vegan diet. Do you subscribe to that way of eating, and will you do more recipes about this vegan food option that has become the way that doctors feel the movement is? As I mentioned before, we have really reduced the amount of oil that we eat. Within the last year, we've reduced the amount of salt. We've added sugar alternatives versus refined sugar. So a lot of the VegInspired recipes that you can find both on the YouTube channel and on our website are oil-free. However, because this isn't a prescriptive diet for us, we do splurge when it's worth it. So you'll see the vegan cheeses and recipes occasionally versus a whole food plant-based cheese or a cashew cheese or something like that. Because we want this channel to be all-inclusive, we're providing all options. The next question is, what is your favorite way to add more greens to your diet? Eating greens is very important to your diet to get the nutrients that you need in a balanced whole food diet. I kind of struggled in breakfast and lunch sometimes to eat those, and what I found was I often eat, especially at lunchtime, I'll put the greens in the bottom of my quinoa or my rice bowl, and then when I heat it up at lunch, those greens wilt a little bit and they're much easier to eat and much easier to digest. So I do try and add greens to every meal, either as the base of my entree or with a side salad to go along with what I'm eating. That's how I add greens to every meal. I know that some people, even if they're making a simple spaghetti, will throw a couple handfuls of spinach in there because by the time it wilts down, it's, you know, you've got all your greens, but it's not overpowering the dish. Okay, so our final question in our 30 videos in 30 days Q&A is meals in minutes. What tip can you give for busy people? The VegInspired chef and I both work full-time jobs, so we're always looking for ways that we can make our dishes quick and easy for our viewers, but also quick and easy for us. And one tip that I can tell you that we've started to incorporate a lot is batch cooking. So we will cook up an entire, small bag of quinoa, which is like 2.5 to 3 cups of quinoa dry, which makes a week's worth of quinoa for our super grain bowls or super veg bowls or any type of Buddha bowl. We've also batch cooked brown rice. We also ingredient prep. We'll slice peppers and onions for fajitas and eat those with fajitas, and then the next night we might do sausage sandwiches or something else that uses those peppers and onions that were already pre-cut. We also ingredient prep for our salads. It's like having a salad bar in your fridge. You can just go in and grab whatever you want on your salad and everything's ready to go and you just need a quick dressing. So I would say that ingredient prep ingredients for multiple meals and batch cooking would be my top tips. Thank you so much for watching this VegInspired video. If you don't follow us on Instagram, please do, at VegInspired and at VegInspired Chef. We really, really loved these 30 videos in 30 days, and to be honest, we're definitely going to miss interacting with all of you on a daily basis, so please follow us on Instagram so that we can keep in touch. If there's videos that you loved in our 30 videos in 30 days and you want us to do more of those, please leave a comment below. If you liked this question and answer video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any of the upcoming content that we have. If I didn't answer your question and you want me to answer it, it's likely that I have it scheduled for a full video, but go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Until next time, eat more plants, live veg-inspired, and have a great day.
Eat more plants, live veg-inspired, and have a great day.
Get again. Get again. Yeah.